Shadows and Sweets. In the quiet town of Derry, Maine, the onset of fall brought a chilly breeze and streets lined with golden rustling leaves. But as Halloween approached, the joyful laughter of children in costumes was punctuated by hushed whispers of a haunting legend, the candy curse of the harvest hand. It was said that a vengeful witch once roamed Derry, and her spirit now punishes trick-or-treaters who dare to be too greedy. Sarah and Danny were typical siblings, constantly at odds over something. Sarah, mature and cautious, often looked out for her younger brother. Danny, however, had a ravenous sweet tooth and dreams of mountains of candy every Halloween. The more candy the better, he'd boast, eyes shining with mischief. Halloween night began like any other. Excited children ran from door to door, their bags open and ready. But Sarah remembered the stories of the harvest hand, a ghostly, skeletal hand that would snatch away children who took more candy than allowed. As they set out, she leaned close to Danny, her voice trembling with genuine fear. "Listen, Danny, take only one candy from each house. Don't wake the harvest hand." Danny just chuckled, his bravado on full display. "Sarah, that's just a silly tale for little kids." Watch and learn. Danny grabbed handfuls at each house while others took one or maybe two candies. Sarah's unease grew, especially as they approached the old, dilapidated house at the end of Oak Street. A bowl full of the shiniest, most tempting candy sat on the porch. Without hesitation, Danny dumped the entire bowl into his sack. Suddenly, an icy gust swept through the street, causing the hairs on Sarah's neck to stand on end. The leaves, once still, started to convulse violently, forming cyclones of autumnal colors in the dimming twilight. As the whirlwind of leaves settled, a grotesque skeletal hand clawed its way out from the depths of the shadowed bushes. The skin was taut against the bones, every joint twisted and protruding, fingers ending in ragged nails that beckoned menacingly. The silence of the night was shattered by a whisper so cold and hollow that it sounded like a snake's hiss combined with the scratch of withering leaves on cobblestone. "Greedy child, you've taken more than your share." Sarah's heart raced as she screamed, clutching Danny's arm. The boisterous arrogance that once lit up Danny's eyes was extinguished, replaced by the wide-eyed look of sheer panic. They sprinted towards home, but as the moonlight bathed them, Sarah could see Danny's once playful shadow morphing. It elongated, darkening, taking on a life of its own. More disturbingly, Danny's fingers, previously youthful and agile, began to transform. They grew and gnarled, resembling the twisted roots of ancient rotting trees. As they stumbled onto their porch, gasping for breath, Danny's candy-filled bag slipped from his deteriorating hand. Candies rolled in all directions, glinting wickedly in the dim light. But Sarah's focus wasn't on the scattered treats. It was on Danny's hands. They looked as though they had lived 100 years in mere moments, the skin now gray and weathered, veins protruding like earthworms. From the encroaching darkness, an ethereal figure began to materialize. Draped in decaying robes that whispered tales of ancient curses, its face lay in the shadow of a wide-brimmed hat. Yet from that abyss, the unmistakable glint of an evil grin could be seen. The feared and fabled harvest hand. "You've stirred me from my slumber with your insatiable greed," the phantom breathed, its voice echoing the despair of lost souls. "Now you shall remain with the harvest for eternity." Frozen in horror, Sarah could only watch as the ground beneath Danny churned and writhed, tendrils of earth snaking up his legs. Danny was being claimed, dragged down into the very soil of Derry, his desperate cries muffled by the dirt. Within moments, only the haunting silhouette of that aged, cursed hand remained above, reaching out for mercy that would never come. The harvest hand turned its unseen eyes to Sarah, its sinister smile growing even colder. "You respected the tales, young one. Leave now, but let this night forever haunt your dreams." As the first rays of dawn pierced the night, the town attempted to brush aside Sarah's harrowing tale as the delirious effects of shock. However, every Halloween after that, hushed voices of Derry's children carried tales laced with fear, warning one another of the malevolent harvest hand and the grim destiny awaiting those trapped by their own greed. Dare to delve into the unknown with chilling ghost tales. Then subscribe for weekly videos of the eeriest tales and darkest legends now.